over the weekend, there was a police-involved shooting that took place, and in light of all of the things that are going on with the Chauvin trial right now, this basically exacerbated it. And you had the BLM crowd once again choosing to riot all over the state of Minnesota. Just absolutely ridiculous. Check this out.
Shit, it is going up, man. Oh, look. They're in GameStop. It is Minneapolis for you, man. It's going up. It is going up. Look at.
So yeah, here we go again with another situation where everybody's jumping the gun on this incident. So the BLM mob vandalized a police station. They looted businesses in Minneapolis after law enforcement shot and killed a man during a traffic stop after the man who had an outstanding warrant allegedly ran from police after being pulled over. Now, rocks and other objects, by the way, were thrown at law enforcement officials in response to the shooting death of Daunte Wright, 20 years old, black male, while nearly 24 businesses were being broken into, and then a police officer was also transported to the hospital with injuries as well. Once again, the media is not going to talk about any of that, by the way. They're not going to talk about the police officer that was injured in this. They're just going to be focusing entirely on the guy that was shot in this situation. Why is this a big deal here? First of all, the officers determined that the driver of the vehicle had an outstanding warrant. At one point, as officers were attempting to take the driver into custody, the driver re-entered the vehicle. One officer discharged their firearm, striking the driver. The vehicle traveled several blocks before striking another vehicle. And then the officers in pursuit and responding medical personnel attempted life-saving measures, but the person had died at the scene by that point. So there was even a statement as well from the suspect's mother, saying that I guess she was on the phone with him during the incident, and she said that she heard the police actually tell her son, Daunte, don't run. So they instructed him not to run. He obviously got in his vehicle and tried to drive away, and they basically shots were fired at that point. Now, why are we dealing with this? Why is the BLM mob basically destroying the city at this point in time? Well, because they don't care about these details. They don't care at all. That's basically what we're dealing with here. So we had officers that were apparently ordering the crowd of about 500 people, by the way, to disperse as protesters chanted Wright's name, climbed atop the police headquarters sign, by then covered in graffiti. Police used tear gas, flashbangs, rubber bullets on the crowd as well. People were there was literally guys like hurling massive bricks at officers. Not a good look, folks, at all. And so then you had the National Guard troops that arrived just before midnight as looters targeted the Brooklyn Center Walmart, nearly and the nearby shopping mall as well. Several businesses around the Walmart were completely destroyed, including Foot Locker, T-Mobile, GameStop, New York Men's Clothing Store. A lot of this stuff, once again, all of these are in black neighborhoods. And the obvious takeaway from this is that there's never a justification for any of these people to ever be looting, stealing. It doesn't make any sense. And it's absolutely ridiculous at this point. I mean, haven't we learned by now to wait for the details? Why are we still doing this? This literally just happened yesterday. And within, a couple of hours, maybe, even if that, probably within just an hour, you've got 500 people standing around just waiting to destroy everything that's in front of them. We don't even have the details as to the determination of what took place anyways. We don't know if the guy had a gun. We don't know if the suspect had tried to hit the police cars or hit the police with his car. We have no idea if he had a knife on him. What happened? We just have people basically looking at the bare, raw details of the situation and immediately determining what? That it's racist? For what justification do you have? Apparently, the officer that actually fired the weapon was a female police officer. What is happening? That's basically what we're dealing with right now. And of course, this isn't helped by the Derek Chauvin trial that's going on right now, but still, we don't have the details. And yet people are just immediately just running around like idiots. All they needed was just an excuse. Just an excuse to rob the GameStop an excuse to destroy. By the way, most of these businesses, I guarantee you, are black owned. I guarantee you the general managers of these places are black. And yet they're just destroying everything. For what reason? And you know what? And getting away with it. Keep in mind, let's harken back a little bit to what happened on January 6th. Do you remember what that? All of that. At the Capitol, you had them basically saying, oh, if it was a bunch of black people there, we would have known that that would have been shut down within 2 seconds. Explain this. Because this is exactly what we told you was going on last year. Explain this. Tell me why it is that all of these people can literally loot the Walmart, the GameStop, steal all this stuff. I mean, you see the clips here if you're watching on video. You have them jumping on top of the windows of these cop cars, just busting in the windows, attempting to throw bricks at cops and police officers, and all you're getting is a rubber bullet? Please tell me more about how January 6th would have been so different if it were black people. That doesn't make sense at all. And you have this situation where, once again, we don't know the details. We just don't. There's no justification regardless of what the details were, but it's crazy that these people just immediately go out there and do this type of stuff. Behave in illegal activities just because they can. There's no justification for this whatsoever. And it just goes to show that the BLM mob, they don't care about the details. They don't care if this cop was racist or not. They saw that all they needed was a white cop, a black guy, and that's it. That is enough for them to just immediately break into all the businesses that they can, to destroy property, to graffiti everything around the city, to destroy their own neighborhood. That's all the justification they need. They don't care whether the guy actually had a knife on him, whether he had a gun on him, whether he tried to shoot at or return fire to the cops at first. We don't know. We have no idea if he's tried to use the vehicle to run over the cops. None of that information. And that's all they need to do this. They don't care if they're racist or not. They're just going to say it is. That's all they need. And the media is probably just as complicit in this because they're just going to go along with it. They're not going to question the situation of what actually took place. They're just going to go right along with it. And we're going to be hearing about this story for the next probably few weeks as more information comes out. We're going to see more and more details emerge. And then all of a sudden it's going to be like, oh, now we know what really happened. But does it matter when those businesses that are in the area already got destroyed as it is? It's just absolutely ridiculous. You just watched a clip from the William Hall Show. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe.